Hi, my name's Laura Batante, and this is My Two Bits. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to make these really adorable little paper Valentine's Day cards. Super easy to make, just a few supplies needed, and really nice basic shapes. So let's have a look-see and see what we need for supplies. You're going to need a full sheet of red cardstock. These are 3 inches by 3 inches. So you can get 2 out of each sheet of 8.5 by 11. And you also are going to need a little tiny bit of pink cardstock, a little bit of yellowy color for his beak, a little tiny bit of black, and some white cardstock. Also, I have raised the nose and the muzzle here, and you can do that either with pop dots or with a small piece of cardboard like this. Also, as always, paper clips are sometimes helpful to hold your stencil in place while you're cutting. And I have a little bit of a white gel pen on his nose, but that's not necessary, so you don't necessarily have to have that. If you don't have a little hole punch and you don't think you can cut the little hearts, then I just went ahead on this one and colored it in with a pink pencil crayon, and he still looks so cute. Also, you'll need scissors, and finally you're going to need the stencil, and the PDF is available right there in the notes for this video. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is cut out your squares, and it's 6 inches by 3 inches or 15.2 centimeters by 7.6 centimeters. Take a pencil and measure it out. And if you're allowed to use an X-Acto knife, then you could go ahead and use that. Otherwise, just grab your scissors and cut the lines. Just do your very best. The key is, of course, to aim where you want to go. Make sure the tip of your scissor is aiming exactly where you want to go. And just nice, slow, steady cuts right away, right across. And there you go. And you can cut this literally off. You don't need it. So it shouldn't hang there and get in your way. All right, once we get those cut out, we are good to go. One other little trick that I should have mentioned that you can, or you don't have to do this, but if you want to make it just a little bit easier to, I have lost my pencil. If you would like to make it just a little bit easier to fold nice and neat, then it is a good idea to right in the middle, so that's at the 3-inch line, drag a thumbtack or a ballpoint pen that doesn't work, and in my case I'm going to use the back of my X-Acto knife and just drag it across so that when you go to fold it, it creases really nicely for you, and you can just get it to line up nice. And then with the back of your fingernail, rub your finger across, and there you go. All right, now we're going to move on. So I think we'll tackle the polar bear first. So step number 1 is to cut out the pieces. You don't have to cut out right up to the edge, but you should certainly cut out, sorry, cutting while I'm talking. You should certainly cut out fairly close because it'll just make it easier to work with. And for the bear, we have 1, 2, 3 straight lines. So on our cardstock, we want to take advantage of using a corner of our cardstock so that we have 2 cut lines already done for us. All right, so you can see I have my stencil cut, and it's cut this close because I've already used it. But like I said, it is a good idea to trim around. And then we're just going to stick our template onto our cardstock with some paper clips. I also really love removable tape, but I realize that not everybody has that. So paper clips work pretty darn good. All right, so nice straight cuts up the edge there, and then we're just going to follow the line, and if something's in your way, get rid of it. You want to make it as easy as possible on you to get a nice smooth cut. Remember that when we're cutting, we're turning with the hand that is not holding the scissors. Yes, we do turn the hand with the scissors a little bit, but the majority of the turning is actually done with your other hand. We also try to cut nice smooth cuts like that. Again, get rid of the excess, makes it a little bit easier. And you see I'm cutting right now with the very tip of my scissors. I don't normally do that, but there are occasions when it's called for. But for really nice smooth lines, you want to cut in here, not out here. Okay, so we have that done. And we'll cut out the rest of our pieces and then we'll have a look-see. All right, so we have our base, which is, as I said, 3 by 3, and I think I said you can only get 2 out of an 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You can get 3, and now we have our pieces cut out. So we're just going to go ahead and have a little look, make sure you're happy with your cuts, and then place it on top and make sure it fits good. And that looks like it's pretty good. So we can go ahead and glue that down. I'm just going to open it up for that. And of course, the one thing I also forgot to do was mention that we need glue when I was giving materials. So, sorry about that. Get a nice coat on. Place that down. Now, if you end up with one ear being a little bit bigger than the other, don't worry about it. That's what gives them character. I don't draw the stencils perfect because that, for one thing, you are going to cut them by hand, and so I know that they're not going to come out exactly as I draw them, and they don't need to. In fact, the wonkier they get, sometimes the cuter it looks. Often when I'm working with kids, and I have some kids who are not the biggest fans of art, they feel a little maybe insecure about doing art. Sometimes their pieces turn out the best because they don't overanalyze it. They just jump in and cut, and if it turns out a little wonky, they just go with it and they end up looking adorable. So don't sweat that kind of thing. All right, so I've got the nose sort of where I want to put it, and then I'm going to draw on, and I am going to use, once again, I've lost my pencil. I'm going to draw it on with my pencil first, which is what I recommend you do, and then that way you can get it just the way you want it. And I'm going, you'll notice, super light. And then with my pen, I'll go over top, and I'm using a pen here, like a gel pen, and hopefully you have that option at home. I find that Sharpies bleed a little. They're perfect for some things, but for working on the cardstock here, I prefer ink pen. So your choice. And then a little bit of glue. And maybe the nose goes on a little crooked. Again, just adds to the cuteness factor, if you ask me. So there's his nose. And now before I put the eyes on, I'm going to show you, I actually drew my eyes on with pen, but I'm going to show you with these how you can change up the look. So here's the little guy I made, and we'll do the pink cheeks too, but I just want to show you this. So here he is with his nose down low and his eyes down low, and he's got kind of a bigger forehead. And here he is, whoopsie, with his eyes wide apart. Also super cute. And here he is with his eyes up high and his mouth down low. And now here he is with his mouth up high. So I would suggest that you play around a little bit with that and see what you like and make it your own. So we're going to take those off, and then now we are at the point where we're going to stick the nose on. And like I said, if you have cardboard like this, you can use that. You just cut out a little wedge like so, and then, oh sorry, we're not just doing the nose, we're doing the whole muzzle, so it doesn't have to be this small. This was for the penguin. The one I had was the one I needed. So just glue that on and then flip it over and glue that on. And there you go. Adorable. All right, so with a pencil, I've gone in and I've drawn my eye placement, and I'm just going to do it upside down because I have a camera right in my forehead, and it just makes it a little easier for me. And also then his little raised nose isn't in my way. So there we go. And if you have the little hole punch like myself, you can go ahead and punch a couple of those. And if not, like I said, this little guy I just did with a pink pencil crayon. This was just my first test one. And it looks super cute with the pencil crayon. So it works either way. I have the paper and I have the little punch. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. And then just pop it up where you think his cheeks might be. And he's done. And you can see that one was super easy to make. And then inside you can write something cute like "I love you very much," or "I'm very glad you're my friend," whatever might suit the situation. Or you can look up some other kind of little bear puns, or you could also make up your own, of course. And then one more little detail here that, again, if you don't have a gel pen, you can do is just a little highlight on the nose. So he's done, and now we're going to move on to our penguin. So like the bear, we are going to need a red square. So that's, again, 6 by 3, folded in half. And we're going to take our template, same thing, cut out close to the edge, making it easier to use. And one more time, we have a straight edge here. So we're going to put that on the straight edge of our cardstock so that we can take advantage of that one straight line. Okay, so I have all my pieces cut, of which there was just 3. And now we're going to glue that down. So we'll open it up and glue it all up. And we'll be done in no time. And then we can make ourselves another set if we like. Okay. And now the face. Just line that up about there. A little glue. And I put it down on top of the black there. I just like to make sure it fits good and that I don't have any jaggy lines before I put the glue on. It's kind of hard to fix it once you've got it glued. Line that up. And then we're on to the beak. And so the same thing, I will use my movable eyes again. So you could have them super close and up high. You could put them down low so he has a really big forehead. You could put them, oopsie, 2 to the side is maybe a little unique. You could have them wide. So you decide what you like, and then go ahead and, I recommend with a pencil first, put the eyes in where you want them. What I'm going to do right now is put the cardboard, that would be that little piece that we had cut out before, and if it's a little too thick, you can peel them and then just use that and glue that down. You just want to make sure that it's not so big that it's sticking out past your beak. All right, and we'll pop that guy on. I kind of like him with a big forehead, but again, personal choice. Okay, and then with my pencil, I'm going to draw eyes. I always sort of put them not quite the same height. And then I will go back in with my black pen and go over top of that. And then for the background, if you do not have the punch, again, and you want to decorate this, I am not sure how well a pink pencil crayon will go on top of the red cardstock, but being that I have chunks of it lying all over the place, let's test it. No, it doesn't show up very good, but if you have a white pencil crayon, you could do it with a white pencil crayon, or if you have a gel pen, you could do it with a gel pen. And this is a white gel pen. There might be a light pink one that might work. Generally speaking, though, on a dark color like this, you're going to want something like that. Anyway, you could try that. And otherwise, plan C would be cut out little tiny hearts. And I did include on the stencil, on the template, a very tiny little heart. It would require a little bit of patience to cut, not gonna lie, but it would be probably doable. I don't think that these little guys are too expensive. The big ones are very expensive, this I know, but I think the little ones aren't too bad. Not that I'm saying you need to run out and go get one or anything, but maybe they have one at school. Some schools have stuff like that. Okay, last one and we're done. I like to put 3 because it's uneven number and uneven looks better. So there you go, all done. Well, I'm all set for Valentine's Day. Look at how many cards I have. They turned out really cute. I hope you enjoyed this craft. If you did, please consider giving me a like and subscribing to this channel so that I can keep bringing you more crafts. Thanks very much for watching.